We are all aware of the life of Samson and his story in the Old Testament, how he was called by God to be a leader in his day. And it's a tragic story, really. He was captured by the enemy and his eyes were gouged out. And the story is one that it really leaves us wondering what happened. A man that was so anointed and touched by God, he had a gift, he had supernatural strength, he had the ability to do everything God had called him to do, and yet he failed miserably. I think if we could interview him today, he would say, you don't have to lose your eyes to be blind. We can be blind to God's purpose for our life. Samson's mother knew that he was a leader, but Samson never really saw himself that way. He was too busy chasing other things. And when we don't see God's vision for our life, we are in danger of settling for an earthly counterfeit. And friends, that can be a very painful reality. We can also be blind to the danger of unhealthy relationships. Believe it or not, your life reflects the people you permit in your life. And 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 13 says, do not be misled. Bad company corrupts good character. How many of us parents have told our children that? Choose your friends wisely. And we can also be blind to the intentions of the enemy. There's no doubt that Samson was clueless of what was happening to him. You and I can look back and say it was so easy to see. It's so easy to see what Delilah was doing. And yet, he seemed to be blind to the reality that she was out to destroy his call. John 10:10 says that the enemy has come to steal, kill, and destroy, and he will do it in a very stealth way. I'm going to give you 3 very simple points on how to avoid these blind spots. The first one is to pursue God's plan in your life. Friends, just stay in God's favor. Do what you know to do. Do what is right. Walk in obedience and put God first. I'm a parent. I ask my children to do really one thing, just be obedient. We don't always like what we have to do. We don't always embrace what we know is right, but do what is right. Secondly, choose your relationships carefully. Be careful who is in your inner circle. Proverbs chapter 13, verse 20 says, he who walks with the wise grows wise, but a companion of fools suffers harm. I mean, we've all learned that lesson. You live long enough, you'll learn that lesson. Number 3, know that failure, please get this, know that failure is never final. Proverbs chapter 24, verse 16 says, a righteous man may fall 7 times and rise again. Isn't that a wonderful verse? Isn't that great? God can and he will redeem any failure in your life. Let me give you this short story real quick about something that happened in my life. Years ago, I took my first church. It's a wonderful church, wonderful people. And I was voted out. This is in the days when you were voted on every year. And I missed the vote by 1 vote. I was humiliated. It was awful. I felt bad. So I came back home and I met with my friend Ward Simpson. He's now the CEO of God TV. And really there had been some time past. It was probably close to a year that I had been home. And Ward said, Tony, what are you doing now? The first thing I brought up was this past issue. And I'll never forget. Ward looked at me and he said, Tony, you haven't forgotten that? What a lesson to learn. And today I have learned to forget, put behind me, move beyond faults and failures. And friends, you can too. Pursue God's best for your life. Pursue God's will for your life. And you'll be blessed all of your life. God bless.